Hey guys, thanks for joining us again here at GP Knives. Today, Kitch and I are going to help find the perfect Esee knife for you. Let's check them out. All right, Kitch. So what we'd like to do to start out today is give a little backstory on the Esee Knives brand themselves, kind of where they came from, their warranties, some information out there for people maybe who haven't bought an Esee before. So basically, Esee Knives is Randall's Adventure and Training. They started out as basically a training group for outdoors, adventure, stuff like that, and having hardworking tools for that you could depend on. So they started working with Ontario Knife Company, making their rat model folders, and basically just kind of took off from there. They ended up getting with Rowan Manufacturing, that's in Idaho, I believe, USA made there, for all their fixed blades and such. And boy, do they have a good warranty.
Yeah, warranty is outstanding. So in the shop, every time somebody comes in, they stand at the case of fixed blades and they ask me, which one would you pick? And it's typically Esee. I own at least like 3 or 4 of them. The warranty is kind of the main selling point for me because it doesn't matter what you do to the knife. A lot of companies, if you chip the edge and you're like, hey, I want a new one, they're like, no. You can catastrophically break an Esee.
Yep.
On purpose.
They're like, try it.
And they'll send you a new one. They won't ask, hey, how did that happen? Why were you doing that with this knife? They don't care. And it doesn't matter if you find an Esee in a parking lot, pick it up and break it. You can send it in and get a new one.
Yeah.
The warranty transfers, no matter who it is. I
That's
can buy
super
a knife,
great.
give it to Chris.
Do I need a receipt?
Chris breaks it. No receipt. You don't need anything. It's pieces of your broken knife. If you can break it. I've tried to break all of the ones I own and haven't yet.
Yeah.
But if I do, I can get a new one.
Talk about a company who stands behind their product. Very impressive. We love telling people all about it in the store when they come in. So we're telling you guys, don't be scared to use your Esee. Use it hard and, don't worry about it because they've got you covered.
Yeah. That's their whole idea is you get the knife, you use it hard. There's survival training. They want you to beat the knife up, use it, try to break it.
Try. We dare you.
We dare you.
All right, Kitch, now that we got the history lesson out the way and you guys know all about the warranty, we're going to dive into some knives. So we'd like to start with maybe the more EDC-friendly line of knives. They're like neck knives. They do a great job with that. Yeah.
The first one is the Candiru. So this is named after a nasty little catfish, and it is really, I think, honestly, my best, like my favorite little EDC knife that they make. No handles. I'm sure somebody out there makes handles. If not, you can paracord wrap it, or I would just keep it like this.
Yeah.
Man, neck knife, you can, comes with a little sheath. You can carry that in your pocket if you want. Awesome little handy knife. Honestly, I was talking to a guy yesterday in the shop, and he was looking for like a squirrel knife.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey man, have you seen one of these? And he ended up buying one of these and an Izula. So awesome, handy little knife. Multifunctional for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And as you mentioned, the Izula, probably their most iconic and most popular knife in the whole line. Yeah. I would venture to say. These things are great. They come in all different colors. 1095 carbon steel, I believe, is the base steel on all of these.
1095 is going to be super tough. They also sell a handle kit for these. I don't see as many of those as I used to. Guys used to come in carrying these all the time. Now I see them more wrapped in paracord. I guess that's to keep the weight down. I don't know. I honestly think it's pretty comfortable, just kind of naked like that. And man, like lightweight, just functional. Also, those are super popular as neck knives. It's a little bit smaller than the 2. The 2's kind of the big brother, got a little bit more handle on it.
Yeah.
And then they come with handles installed.
They come with micarta. Yeah.
Man,
yeah, pretty cool.
Super comfortable.
All of these have a really nice, like a black kind of pop-in kind of sheath for them.
Yep.
That it retains very well if you put it around your neck or if you put it in your pack. Have it, put it in your waistband, whatever you do with it. But they're really convenient. This is our convenient carry package, I think, line on the Esee line. So definitely Izulas and Candirus are pretty sweet.
Yeah. Or if you combine the both and make it an Izula.
Izula.
Izula-ru.
Candir Zulu. All right, Kitch, why don't we go over the core group from Esee Knives, and we'll start with the Esee III.
Yeah.
Great size.
This is an awesome knife. And honestly, if you are, not afraid of carrying a little bit bigger knife, this kind of fits into the EDC too. It's pretty thin. 1095 is going to be super tough. You're not going to be able to really break it. Once again, if you do, it doesn't matter. But this is kind of a, really slicey. It's flat ground. It's got that black traction coating on it, so you don't have to worry about any kind of corrosion except for on your edge.
Yeah.
So, just a little bit of oil on the edge. Don't cut an orange with it and just kind of like leave it in your glove box. Don't ask me how I know. You might get a little bit of rust that way. Other than that, yeah, man, the 3, awesome ergonomics. You got front finger choil, can choke up and use it. Awesome knife. Obviously, it's one of their flagships for a reason.
Yeah. So you might notice we've seen like a lot of micarta. There's another micarta as we go along here. When we get into the 4 here, we've got some 3D texture G10, which I am a huge fan of. Yeah. It looks great.
I think that the 3D handles was probably one of the best moves that Esee could make. And there were guys like selling these for a long time, just the handles that you could throw on there. And whenever they went from flat to the 3D, I was like, man, that's like a genius move. And they're pretty good about stuff like that. They kind of read the market and do what other people are doing so you can just get it fresh from the factory.
Right.
The 4, as far as knives go, very similar to the 3, a little bit thicker, a little bit more heavy duty, and just a touch longer.
Yeah.
But still, the exact same ergonomics. It's just basically the same knife, but blown up. But if you're going to use it for harder use tasks and you don't want to break your knife, that's the one to go for.
Yeah, a little bit bigger. Molded sheaths on these. I like this, this kind of bottom tang here. Like you got a lanyard hole on there. You could use it as, just a hammer on something. I mean, you can beat it up. Don't worry about it. You're not going to hurt it, as we've talked about before. If you can, they'll fix it. But I really like that about them. And once you transition to the SE5 kit, you really get a whole new package.
Yeah, this one's kind of the Mac Daddy. This thing is 1/4 inch thick. This was the first Esee that I ever bought. And man, I have done things with this knife that make myself cringe. I've like corded logs with it. I've stabbed into junkyard car hoods. I've bashed through windows with the glass breaker. Like, just, it's a hooligan knife. Really, if we're being honest, this is just a hooligan's knife. And it was designed to be used by helicopter pilots. If they crash in the jungle, they can kind of pry through the fuselage. They can bust stuff out. They can get out. They can survive with it. It's a, kind of a chunky knife, so like they could use it for self-defense. But it is just essentially a sharpened pry bar. And I kind of like that.
That's pretty cool. It's definitely built not to fail.
For
right?
sure.
I mean, from what I've heard from you, you've put it through hell and
yes,
and still kicking.
Still kicking. It has no coating on it. It's got like little pits of rust from me just not taking care of it. But man, if I had to pick one knife from my collection where I'm like, yeah, this one's gonna last forever, it's probably my SE5.
Yeah, I love seeing Esee knives beat up, and I know they love seeing them too. Lots of guys always submit their photos of their used Esees, and it's just kind of funny what people do with them and what they can do with them. So finally, in this core one, we're going to go with the SE6, and he's pretty big. He's not as thick as the 5, though.
Yeah, this one is a little bit more of I would call this more of a field knife. The SE5 is it's a little bit more focus-driven, stuff where you want to pry and chop and stuff like that. This is a lot more, it's flat ground. It's going to be a little bit more slicey. This is going to also be, a pretty good tactical knife. The ergonomics lock it in there really good. It's kind of just an all-arounder. It's basically just the 3 and 4 blown up to 6-inch cutting edge.
Right. Can you think of anything what can't you do with these Esee knives? They pretty much cover everything on this whole line.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. And even in the core line, obviously we're going to get into some more of the special, stuff. But this one is I can't think of a cutting task or, bushcraft task that I can't accomplish with these knives, and most of them I've done only using the sharpened pry bar. So
there you go. Very cool. We'll get right into the bushcraft. So basically they've got the core stuff that everybody knows about, and then you get into these, over the years they've partnered with other people to come up with different designs, kind of more, catered to certain tasks, outdoor tasks and such. So we're going to start with that. So we got a couple for hunting and a couple for bushcrafting. Yeah. We'll start with this little guy. He's the CR 2.5.
Yeah. So the CR 2.5, if you look at it, it's a bird and trout knife. Esee's version of a bird and trout knife. It is $10.95, and I think, obviously, we could talk about how it's good for cutting birds and trout, but my idea for this knife is it's kind of like the perfect little fire kit knife. It has a 90-degree spine, so it's shaving my thumbnail off. You can use that to shave tinder. You can use that to strike a ferro rod. So if you were to build a fire starting kit, big ferrocerium rod the same size as this, put it all in one pouch, bam. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know if anybody else has had that idea, but if you did, you stole it from me. I had it first. But I think that that's awesome. And then also just, small game. This thing's awesome for rabbits, squirrels, stuff like that. It's a good little caping knife. It's just also really handy. It reminds me of like a scalpel or a paring knife or a combination of the two.
I was thinking of scalpel right while you were talking. I love the orange G10 on there.
Yep.
Gives it that outdoor feel, and the black oxide coating has been really popular since they started doing that a few years ago. Very neat, great looking little knife. Next up, we've got the Ashley game knife. Yeah. Specifically for
game. This one's a game knife, and not like video games like what all the kids are into nowadays for like cutting up animals. So this is an Ashley Emerson design, professional hunter. And I think that if you look at it, it's pretty Nesmicky. I think that that's what they were going for with it. And the notable feature that it has no sharpening choil. So a lot of knives with sharpening choils, whenever you get in there and you're skinning or gutting an animal, the sharpening choil can hang up and rip or tear the hide. Yeah. And you don't want that. A lot of belly, good for skinning. It's small enough to where you can use it for other things. If I have to like pull cut something, if I have to get inside and like cut a trach, stuff like that. So it's small. It's got a real nice finger guard here, so I'm not gonna like slip up and cut myself. And then this one was a special run that they did, and this one's actually S35.
Oh, nice, stainless steel. Look at that.
Yeah. So Esee kind of steps into that game. Heat treat on their S35 is really good too. It's got that same Rowan treat. So
yeah, awesome. Really cool to see them do other steels other than their solid 1095, of course. So as far as bushcrafting goes, this is the RB3. That feels pretty good.
Yeah, I like the RB3 a lot. It's actually one of my favorite Esees. This one's just your basic Scandi bushcraft. If you look at this, if you look at a bunch of bushcraft knives, like right next to each other, they're all going to have a similar look. It's got those 3D handles. They're kind of flat still. Really comfortable. Really freaking sharp too. And then once again, 1095, that Scandi grind, that thing's going to be a cutting machine.
And you know what I have noticed on a lot of these bushcraft knives is palm filling handle. It's a lot of handle. Like really, you really want to get a good grip on that for bushcrafting.
Yeah. Reduces hand fatigue.
Yeah, good call. Definitely. So finally, we have the PR4. It's got some wild texturing on that handle.
It does. So this is the PR4, like you said. This one is basically a Kephart. So Horace Kephart designed his perfect knife, and then Esee kind of took it and refined it. And then this one's got the 90-degree spine. So does the Bushcraft. So striking ferro rods, scraping tinder. And then it's got a really basic handle. But like you said, it does have that funky grip. And honestly, like it doesn't, my fingers kind of fall into it almost like finger grooves. I don't really notice it.
I think that was kind of on purpose.
Yeah, it does add some grip, but like it's not going to tear up your hands or tear up like, your gloves if you're using it.
Right.
Awesome knife. I really like that spear point design. And then simple rounded handle, going to reduce handle fatigue. And then, most primitive human tools were sticks, so meant to hold a stick.
Gotcha. Pretty straightforward design there. Super. I know that one's been really popular ever since it came out. Really cool knife. If you guys are into outdoors bushcrafting, definitely take a look at our section on our website. And there's other knives like that out there with different colors and different finishes and stuff. So very cool stuff from Esee Knives. All right, guys. Well, we hope you've enjoyed going through several knives in the Esee brand with us today. And we hope we've helped you decide which one's best for you. It just kind of depends on what your need is and what your use is every day. And there are a lot more. There's smaller ones, bigger ones, and different variations like this.
Like this. Hungulus. So we've gone through multiple knives today, Chris and I, and we hope that you guys found something for you. Esee has a wide range from very little to basically large knife machete hybrid. So links to those are down in the description box below. You guys check them out. Catch you guys next week.
Thanks for watching.